about job, you need an employer before you can make money from it. But if it's not, if it's about high income skill, you don't need an employer and you can make money from it. So some of my, high rated, high income skill, number one is what I call marketing and sales. I can't stop talking about marketing and selling because, I will always say every business is selling and every selling is business. And for me, that's so important. Why? 99.99% of us, if not 100% of us here, we are very, very good in what we do.
Mm.
Very good in what we do. So take anybody who is um, very, very good in what he does or in your area, and then check him out. Whether you're talking about accounting firm, Deloitte is what's his name again? Akintola Williams. Then it's just about them being daring and going out there. You know, that's why I always talk about vulnerability intelligence. You must understand that before you approach this organization to work for them, they are not your friends. If you approach them and they decide not to work for you, they are not your friends. So you lose nothing. You are even get something. Somebody knows that hey, there's an alternative somewhere. But most times we are always, afraid to go out there and check things out and all those. So marketing and sales skill have to do with what are all the things you are projecting out there at the level of marketing. What do you do to actually be seen by people? We're not talking about what you do to make money. What do you do to be seen by people? Okay, so I asked Nuruddin, what do you do to make sure that people there know? I'm not saying buying from you, know that you are estate manager, consultant estate manager, a consultant estate uh, management practitioner. What do you do? You see, but you are hoping on luck. You're hoping on that you call somebody and you respond. You're hoping on, oh yeah, get a house. And no, there must be a program. The program, will crisscross multimedia. What do I mean by that? Not the multimedia of computer, but multimedia at the level of, there must be something that enlightens people. For instance, you have a program called um, um, The Only Estate by Nuruddin, you know, The Only Estate by, or The Only Real Estate by Nuruddin, you know, and you're going to be telling people it's not difficult to buy houses, it's not difficult to build houses, it's not difficult to have good tenants. There are indices that this is what you are going to look for if you want to have a tenant that is good. This one, you're going to look at the source of income, you're going to look at his temperament, you're going to look at this, look at how to go about it, and all those kind of things. You need to sign so and so document for you, and all the, you know, if you say it two times and 20 landlords hear you, they will remember their houses that are in trouble and say, yes, this thing this man is saying, we are not doing it. I believe if we do it according to what he said, it will work. But the point is that we can't do it because we are busy and we don't even know the other things that run behind doing it. We don't even have the form he's talking about. We don't even have this. So why not call him, let him come and handle this trouble for us? The same way a lawyer who talks about tenancy, landlord issues, and all those. In one month, 6 months, he will have so much cases in court that he can't even have time for himself and all those. Okay, the same way for a trainer who goes online to talk about, oh, discover yourself, oh, you can do this, oh, you can do that. Now that's what we mean when we say marketing. Marketing is how do you really, go out there. Now, how many times have you appeared on television for, accounting issues? You see, you think that the one of the derivative guy is more intelligent than you. Who says so? He's been appointed um, the chairman of presidential committee on, I think, harmonization of minimum wage or technical document for that and all those kind of things. You know, don't you know that they do a lot in trying to maintaining this relationship and being able to get those invitations? Do you think that they just call? Don't you see that all the people they call on channel, the people they call every day? What is in politics today? What is it? Haven't you noticed that? The people they call it. So what have you done? Do you have a sheet of paper that you send across? Like, hey, I'm an expert in so and so. If you want information in so and so, you can call me. You know, Professor Victor,
What is that?
a man that refused to be arrested.
Doctor.
Welcome. So now, these are some of the things you look at and be able to know. I have a marketing strategy for what I'm doing. Now, so let's move away from marketing. You remember I said the first thing is marketing, and then the second, I'm putting them together, marketing and sales. I'm talking about high income scale. So when you look at sales, now you can be marketing and you are not selling. Get it into your head that it is not about marketing, it's about selling. If you are not selling, the marketing makes no meaning. And you see, people cannot buy what what they cannot what you are not advertising. Nobody will come and buy any product we are not advertising here. We're not advertising how to make fufu. Come and say, hey, doctor, no, I want to buy how to make. I want to learn how to make fufu. It's only luck that can give me that kind of thing. But on that normal business strategy, it doesn't happen. People buy what you are selling. So you must have the things you are selling. Selling has to do with what? Giving the product or service or platform and collecting money. So selling has a lot to do with actually defining the value you are proposing and then being able to know how can I, you know, target the right audience and make them buy. And in selling, I encourage you to be what? Proactive. When people spend money, they are not happy. When somebody buys an aircraft, he's happy that he's got an aircraft. But if you come to borrow money from him, that money, he will say, please allow me, I spent 500 million today, please allow me. And you are wondering if he threw the 5 million away. But it's just he would have wanted to have the airplane and also kept his money back. So that is why you are going to be proactive about that. Don't take the issues of what do we call it, objections seriously. Now, some people are so negative that they need to say 10 no's before they say one yes. So when you go and they say no, what do? You said one no up, down, nine no up. So you go again and say, but I've told you I won't buy. You say you laugh, two no's because you are counting in your head and all those. And until they finish their 10 no's and they will do what? They will say yes at the 11th time. You see, so that's what you're going to understand, and then you start becoming romantic and becomes having so much respect. The way he answered me the other time, I didn't like it. I don't like, when you send something to somebody, you help him and shut up. Why not sell it to yourself if you know it will help people? So who gives people help? So the point being made is that you must understand sales. So one of the things you understand, so I said it a few days ago, is that objections are no objections. So there are three things to expect. One is what? Yes. One is what? No. The other one is what? Maybe. I said it a few days ago. And I said when they say yes, powerful, try to also continue with being proactive so that you can actually collect your money. Number two, when they say no, that is very, very beautiful. Now, try to know why they said no. Now, when they say maybe, um, try to also find out why they said maybe. And if you are not finding it out, leave the person and then, go your way. Try to remind the person from time to time that you still exist. So let's go to yes. When they say yes, you need to actually do everything. Don't continue selling when they say yes. Con- Try to make sure that there is stronger commitment, because when people commit to something, they become consistent about it. Now, if what I wanted to teach you today was the principles of influence, where I would have talked about commitment and consistency, but let me just mention it in passing. If you go to church and then the pastor, unless it's Oyedebo or Adeboye, who says, now start running out and start coming, we have 1 minute for you, and then you see people coming. But if you are a normal pastor, you need to say, now everybody sit down, and then you say, close your eyes. If what we've said about Jesus Christ is touching you today, I want you to think about it through and this one. So if it's touching you, I want you to raise your hands. Raise your hands if you know that you want to give your life. The people will raise their hands. The people who want, and then you think it has ended with raising your hands. What happens again? He said, if you raise your hand, he will give ushers sign to make sure that they're giving you forms and all. Now, if you raise your hands and you collected the form, please stand on your feet. Now, because you raise your hand, that's commitment. You cannot, in fact, you will tell yourself, if you can't stand on your feet, you know that you are stupid because nobody forced you to raise your hand. Because you're committed to that, you must want to be consistent with that character. So what do? You, in line with the behavior of raising your hand, you want to stand up. And then you will think it has ended with standing up. What happens again? He said, if you, on that day, shame will be to the devil. Nobody will be with you there. Start coming out to the stage so you can make a public shame of the devil. Now, you've raised your hand, you stood up. How can you now say you're not coming out again? You will do what? You come out. That's what happens with commitment and what? Consistency. Even the pastors who do it don't know their name, but because they've gone through apprenticeship, that's how they do it. But if you say, oh, you want to give your life to Christ, stand up and start coming out here. Unless you are devil here or here devil, nobody is coming out. You need to actually know who you are to command that. Now, when people say yes, try to pin them down to what? Either they sign a expression of interest form, or they, make a particular commitment, or they pay something, or because when they make that commitment, they can do what? Follow on with what? With the or with the action that is consistent with that. Okay. Now that's for yes. Now for no, people will say tell you for now I don't know, I'm not very sure, let me think about it and all those. But remember, you don't have all the time to spend on this earth. Like I will always tell you, life is like a big drum of water, that is constantly open. So they open the tap, it's running out every day, every second. Just pray you don't have accident by, we saw that screeching there by Boko Haram, just, pumping bullets on that drum, and then the water dispenses fast. Don't pray you don't have sickness, there's an accident, again, the water dispenses fast. If it's just dispensing normal, that is every 24 hours is counted, every second is counted, and all those. No matter how long it is, that water must finish. So if that is the case, you don't want to waste your time with people. You want to know who is interested, who is not interested, so that you can move on. So if that is the case, you need to ask those who say, I'm not sure, maybe, and all those. You need to ask them a very important question. You say you are not sure, let you go and think about it. And I said, when people are not sure, there are two things there's a problem. Number one is that they are not interested, or they're interested but they're not sure of some particular aspects. So which one are you? You are not interested, or you are interested but you are not very convinced yet. I said, no, I'm interested. But it's like, I need to make up my mind. And it's okay. So you are interested. So he said, the next thing is you want to make up your mind. If you want to make up your mind, there are about three things that could be the reason. Now, number one is what we call fit. This product or service doesn't fit what you want. Is it the case? Say, no, that's what our company wants at this moment. You said, okay, that one is gone. Number two is that the product or service does not have some functionalities you want. Is it the case? Say, no, you have functionalities I want. You say, if just some other things you want added, you may say, yeah, this training, but if it has digital marketing part, it will make sense. Okay, if there are functionalities that you could upgrade to, now you'll be able to know. Now, the third one, the third F is what? Finance. You don't have the money to actually buy this thing now. So is it the case with you? Say, yeah, our budget, like you say this thing is 100,000, but really our budget is 50,000, but we love what you say, no problem. The point is that for people who are interested, we can give them additional 2%, 1% discount, if they're paying immediately. But if they're not paying immediately, they're going to pay this amount, but spread over a period of time. Now you have 50,000 as your, so you pay the 50,000, and we spread the what? The remaining over 3 months. Is 3 months okay for you? He said, oh no, 6 months. See, you have to be proactive. Don't leave it like that. Don't say, I don't like pushing people. Marketing is about pushing people. Marketing is not about respect. It's not something that I want people to have their space and all those kind of things. Well, it's not easy. It's not easy to market because a lot of I rather selling. It's not easy to sell because a lot of time you feel like he had told me I don't want him to insult me, but you must know those are the issues. Okay, if you've had that about my first major income scale, let's talk about the next one. Any question on this one? Yes. Okay.
Well, I know I agree with it, but especially when it comes to the issue of
Oh,
spreading the payment, instrumental payment.
yes, yes,
The person pays, and then after initial commitment,
yes.
it becomes difficult for him to pay the
Yes. Okay, that's why you must have a standard and gauge you use for people you give those. Number one, there must people you've known their pedigree somehow, and then there must be something like a commitment in line with that is legally bound. For instance, if you have the person gives you post-dated check, if somebody really want to pay you and it's the issue of post-dated check, the person will agree to that. But if the person has, possibility of not paying you, the person will say, the issue of post-dated check, we don't give post-dated check, this one. So it's better you have your goods or service than to give it out and then start making trouble out of that. But you see, there are times also you want to enter an organization. If it's not a question of a laptop or something like that, you may find out can you get 75% of the what do you call it cost price, and then you play with the other 25% because you really want to. Your life is a risk. One of the greatest risks about life, is the issue of sleeping. Now that's where most of we don't think about it. Sleeping is the greatest risk. There is nobody that slept that has the capacity of believing that has the capacity and assurance that he's going to work the next morning. But have you ever, even some people when they are sick, my father-in-law loves life a lot. I mean, at the moment he's a little sick and he loves life so much. He's a very powerful, great man. So, but you still sleep. You wake up whether you work or you don't work. So the point is that sometimes it may not all work, but we need to see enough indices to say, okay, we can go on. When you want to marry, do you know a woman that will not give birth, and a man, do you know a man that will die the next day? Do these are all risks and all that. But when you over rationalize them, let them give you a positive check, and let the person be somebody that, from every perspective, the person seems like the person who can actually keep his word. Now, let me tell you something about buying. Buying is a very serious emotional thing, and there's a book called Life is a Pitch, and if you read that book, it will change your life forever. Now, one of the things, life's a pitch, Pitch. Now, one of the greatest, one of the biggest risk. Somebody can say, "Can you give me this on credit?" You say, "No, I won't give it to you on credit." And like if I tell 100 people, if some 100 people want to buy this on credit, I can say no. But you see, there is one that is riskier, but people say yes more. Will you marry me? That's the biggest pitch on earth and the most dangerous. Will you marry me? And people say yes more. Why do you think they say yes more? They say yes more because anytime emotion is at the front, people will not apprehend the risk as much. So, understanding that the buying decision are emotional things. A very simple example is when I tell you that I have a doctorate degree. How many of you had asked me which school did you go to? Can we see the degree? And you stupidly call me doc every day. Are you not stupid? How can you be calling doc? You've not verified. You not. What of the guy, the pilot? Have you ever thought about giving? There's no parking space on the air. There's nothing. You give Nobody says, okay, please, can we see your piloting license. Nobody does that. Aviation license. One day, pilot landed, boom, 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 like that. So I come out last or first and from the aircraft. So I was the person coming out last. I said, okay, were you the person that was driving? He said, yes. I said, you landed so rough. Why? He said, my brother, we are learning, because I fainted. I told him, I told him, please don't repeat this thing. Because people had started coming. You know how it is in Nigeria. So by the time the plane is, people are coming already to jump. I said, please don't repeat this thing. He said, what do you want me to lie? I'm learning the job. No, he's not learning, but probably he just, wanted to learn fast or something. I don't know. Now, what's the point? That day, I knew that we're supposed to be asking the what? To know who is learning, how is not learning. Okay, so the next thing, our time is up. The next thing I wanted to talk about is consulting. Now, consulting is a very, very important 21st century high income skill. Why? Because you see, for every singular thing you do, there is a consulting side to it, and if you don't learn it, you're going to suffer a lot. You're going to leave a lot of money on the table. Now, look at it this way. The guy, Dr. Oji or something, that jumped into the river, the lagoon. Now, if you have something you would tell that man and he wouldn't jump in, how much do you think you are worth? Huge amount. It's unquantifiable. He's a medical doctor, qualified, and you have something you would have told him and he wouldn't jump in. His family friends would have thought, okay, he wouldn't have jumped in. It's just that you were there at that point and all those. But when you systemize it, you can prepare so much. Now, there's a story, a funny story. In my climb, they will say, giving the monkey the cup to drink water is not a problem. But when you give monkey cup to drink water, but for the monkey to give it back to you, that's the major problem. So now, a monkey drank and then ran up onto the tree. Everybody came and begged the monkey, please, this is the king's cup, bring it down. Monkey refused, or jumping up into it. So a reverend father came, a clergyman, and they said, Father, please help us. I don't know. The father did like this. You know how they make the sign of the cross? He did like this and did like this. So the monkey gently came down, handed him over the cup. And everybody was said, like, we have prayed, we've done everything, the monkey refused. What did you do? That was the sign of the cross. Some of us have done something, we have spoken in tongues. The man said, I told the monkey, if you don't come down, I will cut the tree. And now, does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
That's what happens with consulting. You come to a complex problem, you do what? You bring in a very simple solution. And if you don't take time, people are not going to pay you for that, because I bet you do that every time. So then when you come to an organization that is losing money, when you come in, what happens? It's like there's red lights everywhere and you see where the problem is. And most time, because you don't have consulting knowledge, what do? You tell them, what's the color of your company? The color is not reflected here. Oh, this air conditioner, is it 21? They say it's 14. Say, no, we need to change to 21. When we come in as your consultant, we're going to change it to 21. What of you people are not wearing uniform? Oh, now when we come in, we're going to change it, and they are jotting it down. By the time you come in 2 weeks time, they are all done what you said they want, and they've not given you the job. What's the point? The point is that consulting is a skill that you must learn. You must learn entry, you must learn diagnosis, you must learn action planning, you must learn implementation, then you must learn what do you call it again? Termination. And if you don't, a lot of money will be out there and you are not getting it. So there are few ways you can help people in consulting. Number one is actually doing it for them. So you come in and do it for them. People like Tunde, you come in and do for them a lot. And that's why immediately you do for them, your presence is needed to manage it or to keep it going. And anytime there is opportunity for them to do it for themselves, you lose value. So you can do it for them. That's one way. You can do it with them. What that means is that you are doing part and they are doing part. You know. Now you can do it by teaching them how to do it. We call it one word coaching. Then you can do it for them by actually doing it for them in a group. So instead of one CEO paying 100 million, 20 CEO can pay 10,000, and then it can become 100 million. Now you can also um, um, do it by taking their members and teaching them how to do it, and then coming to supervise. You have the retainership of supervision, whatever it is, whether it's marketing that you want to do for them, accounting services, or it has to do with estate, or whatever it is that you are helping them do. And it's so funny to note that for every singular thing on earth, there's a consulting side to it. If I open the computer and show you, like I showed Marvel when they were doing the course, though they've not rounded up. Now, I showed them, there are porn addiction coaches and consultants who help people who are into porn addiction to come out. And it's very funny to say, you put yourself into porn, coming out, is it not to off the source and come out? But you see, there are people who help people come out. And even there's porn addiction certification programs. That is porn addiction coaching certification program. That is people who coach people who go in out there to help people who are into porn to come out. You know what I mean? So the point is that anything can be consulted on. Anything can be consulted on. You see, even as I'm talking now, you will notice that you have a very big problem with marketing, have a very big problem with selling. Not that you don't even know what I'm saying, but to sustain that tempo, And that's why you can pay 10,000 for me to be your coach, because I wouldn't allow you to actually rest. And immediately you are moving, you must move. At a particular time, you find out, for instance, if a car is, my time is up, yes? 10 o'clock. If a car cannot, if a car is static and you want to start it and it's not starting, what do? You push it. Now, for you to push the car, one person can't. What happens? 2, 3, 4, 5 people will come, push the car. But immediately the car starts going, one person can do what? Can actually control the car, keep doing until it stops again. That's when you need 4, 5 people to come and so look around you. Everything, what of our kids with internet? What of capacity to actually move? A lot of people are thanking me that with the Smart Start 2019 WhatsApp platform, they told me I graduated 7 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I've never finished a book. And this is the first time I'm finishing a book from back to back. If you look at yourself, a lot of us are like that. You read, but 99% of the books you don't finish. You see. So what's the point? That's where mentorship comes in. That's where this. So you can mentor people on anything. So you are also qualified to be a mentor, to be a coach, to do anything. So it's ability to understand that you're leaving a lot of money at the table by not understanding how to productize these things that you can also consult on and in. So I'm going to leave it there. So today, talking about high income skills, we talked about only two. We talked about what? Marketing and sales. We talked about consulting skill. But you see, there are quite a lot of them. I've listed out 10 that are my best. I won't be able to talk about them. One of them is storytelling. One other one is deal closing and negotiation. And quite a lot of them that are listed out. Another one is public speaking and presentation. So these are all skills that you must have. Because greater percentage of the thing that will involve you making as much money as you want, you need to convince people in crowd. And if you don't know how to do that, a lot of people say public speaking, I need to learn how to move my body, do this work, do them. Yeah, that's good. But you see, I will always tell you, that's not the things that are important. If I slap my friend Nuruddin, which I won't try to do, because I know Nuruddin can beat me up very well. If I slap my friend Nuruddin now, and him to 20 and we started fighting, and 100 people appear here now, I say, what happened? Nuruddin, if he just can cool down, he would do what? He would tell his story simply. Say, look, oh, I'm always here. Oh, this guy slapped me. You just slapped me, bam! And I slapped him back, and we started fighting. He hits me, I hit him. What am I saying? Who is teaching him how to do his hand now? His story and what he has is doing what? It's expressing itself. So why is it that I'm sitting here? I talk to millions and thousands of people every year. I sit down to talk to thousands of people. Am I using the stage? Am I moving around? Why do people still congregate when Dr. Khan is invited to come to any city? Why do they still congregate? The program we have in Port Harcourt has been overbooked. What do you call it? The venue. Is it true? The venue has been overshot. I'm not going to protect. I'm not going to radio yet, and the venue has been overshot. So do I move around? So the point is that if you come to my public speaking academy, you can see that it's not a difficult thing. It's about having your story, doing the mind swap, and that's why we don't do it more than 4 hours, and all those. How much is it again? For alumni, it's about 20,000.
Yes,
And all of that.
yes.
But there's a recorded version of it, which is 7,000 for 7,500 for alumni, which can be sent to you if you want it. You learn. You are leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't know how to speak in public, because really, speaking in church is not speaking in public. You see, speaking in public is very, very important. It's an art you must learn. I mean, if you don't learn, you might think you know how to speak in public, but it's a different ball game when you are talking to professionals who can ask you questions. That's what we call critical thinking. Critical thinking is thinking about your thinking, why you are still thinking, to make it clearer, purer, more defensible, so that people can actually, douse their questions while you are talking. Because anytime you say, I am intelligent, what's in your mind now? How does he know he's intelligent? He's not praising himself. Oh, this is the best offer. What is your mind now? Did you buy it from heaven? I can buy it. If you say, oh, our app is the best app in the market, are you kidding me? Who are you? We say, oh, I've been a good person all my life. They will say, it's because you're playing local. You've not been tempted with big money. And what's the point? Being to have ability to speak in public very well is to have a critical thinking mind where you are answering the question before the people ask the question. But above all, you need to understand what we call the ultimate speaker. The ultimate speaker is that person who doesn't even know what to do. I used it the day we did your MOS, the hacking your mind operating system. Did I say anything that day? I put out the question, what happens? You answer, everybody answered. Did you notice that? And then at the end of the day, I did the summary. And people are saying, people like, that's how people like Giselle, Giselle has paid us a lot of money since that day. She came and chatted me, privately and said, hi, your talk changed my life. What did I say there? Everybody was giving me the answer, and I was telling you people. Did you notice it, Marvel? And that was the ultimate speaker. The ultimate speaker doesn't even know more. The ultimate speaker only knows how to drag out the thing from people and others. So that's why public speaking is very important. I want to appreciate you for listening. You are going to go to the next class for you. God bless you.